My name is Dana Denis-Smith, and I'm delighted to welcome you here in this lovely home-like location. I'm the founder of the Next 100 Years project, the organizer of tonight's event. I'll tell you a little bit about the next 100 years, because the story started, as my child would say, over 100 years ago. Not by me, but the story of women not being allowed to practice as lawyers started in 1919. Their fate of not being allowed to practice stopped with an act of parliament that stopped the disqualification of women from practicing, finally made them persons, and here we are with a lot of women lawyers in the room, me included. So I started a project 10 years ago called The First 100 Years to celebrate the journey of women in law and make sure we record their stories, we unearth many stories from the past, and we leave to the next generation a fuller picture about how women came to be lawyers and how much they've contributed to the legal landscape in this country. In 2020, just before lockdown, we turned the project, because it finished the centenary anniversary celebrations, we turned the project into the Next 100 Years project. Not because I wasn't tired, can I say. I was actually welcome in lockdown. I was very, very exhausted, because I felt there was still work that needed to be done. But we felt we learned from the past the things that remained to be done. I don't want to bore you with things around the gender pay gap and all these things that are remaining problems around the workplace. For me, I was very interested in the concept of role models and women learning from one another. And also, very important to me, how to platform women, how to allow the woman voice to be heard, not just for being a woman, but for what the woman had to say. So this is how the Heilbron Lectures were born. Rose Heilbron, whose daughter is in the room with us and has so kindly given us permission to use her name, was the advocate of her day. Not just because she was a woman, she was an amazing barrister. She was the first woman to become King's Counsel in England and Wales, actually 75 years this year. We just celebrated that milestone. And she was known for her advocacy. She was literally, I mean, you can speak to Hillary afterwards, hopefully, but queues were forming around the block, basically, when she was in court, because she was such an excellent advocate. She really was a legend in her day and remains, I think, a great inspiration for the future. So for me, there was no better person that we could celebrate when we put on a lecture series in the name of a woman. It came around because as we were researching how many great lecturers, lecture names there were in the legal sector, there were very few named after women, so we thought we had to do something about it to make sure we have one named after a woman, so we called it the Heilbron Lectures. And here we are 5 years on. This is our 5th lecture. I'm afraid to say we are operating positive discrimination. We will only platform women legal experts. And that's what we've done. And the homework that we give them is very simple from my point of view. And that is they need to talk to a theme. Every year we change the theme. The first year, the theme was set in January 2020, and the theme was freedom. I think if we all look back, we realize that we thought we were thinking about something very different at the end of that year, and things changed very quickly with lockdown. Freedom took a very different meaning for everybody. Since then, we had a lecture on nature, we had a lecture on value, we had a lecture on time out and what it means to work or maybe to live. And this year, there was one word we gave Flora, and that was home. This is why we picked this place, because to me, it feels like a slightly bigger home. I wish I owned it. But to me, it has that layout and the warmth of a place that we can call home. But obviously, as you would know when I introduce her, the connection is made to a subject that actually is bigger than just the home. And I hope she will bring it to life. In fact, I know she will. And you will see why the place we chose is this, why the theme is what it is, and also why she is absolutely the perfect lecturer to deliver it. So just to give you a few, so she, as you will see very soon, I mean, I don't know, something happened in the slides, but I've just told you who I am anyway. So in response to us giving her the word home, she said her lecture will be called No Choice But to Trust, the Predicament of the Powerless. So I'll leave her to deliver it in a minute. Flora is a barrister at 23 ES Chambers, and she prosecutes and defends serious crime. She was instrumental in overturning post office convictions in Hamilton and others, and now has the privilege of representing, well, in fact, just finished last week, hasn't it, the inquiry, 16 former post office workers in the Post Office Horizon IT inquiry. And I am absolutely thrilled that we have quite a few of them here in the front row. So that is very special, and thank you very much for being here. Her varied legal career began at Clifford Chance and has included stints at the Law Commission, the University of Law, and the Financial Conduct Authority. She is now a member of the Legal Services Board and has recently resumed her PhD research at University College London. But before Flora speaks, I thought it was really, really important that somebody else speaks. And she is Seema Misra. Seema became a flagship case for the Post Office. She and her husband bought a shop and sub-post office in West Byfleet in Surrey, and Horizon caused problems from the start. She might probably tell you more about it, but in any case, needless to say, she was sent to prison on her son's 10th birthday, and a few weeks pregnant with a much longed-for second child. She, Flora, acted for her in the Court of Appeal. The Post Office accepted that her conviction should be overturned, but only on a limited basis. She was one of the 3 appellants who refused to accept that, and as a result of the arguments made on their behalf, the court decided that the appeals should succeed on the rare and sweeping basis that the convictions were an affront to the public conscience. So, over to you.